While the global spotlight remains on the conflict in Ukraine, the situation in Artsakh is equally dire and requires immediate intervention. This small mountainous region is at a breaking point. Nestled in the rugged terrain, Artsakh is a land of breathtaking beauty and deep-rooted history, now overshadowed by the looming threat of annihilation. An ancient culture faces obliteration. The rich tapestry of Armenian heritage, evident in its ancient architecture and cultural landmarks, is on the brink of being erased forever. The international community must act now. Leaders around the world need to recognize the urgency of the situation and come together to prevent a humanitarian disaster. We must not allow another genocide. The echoes of past atrocities remind us of our moral duty to intervene and stop history from repeating itself. Artsakh is home to the Armenian people. For centuries, Armenians have lived in this region, cultivating their land and preserving their traditions. They have lived there for centuries. Generations have called Artsakh their home, building a legacy that is now under severe threat. Today their existence is threatened. Families are being torn apart, forced to flee their homes in search of safety. Azerbaijan has launched a campaign of ethnic cleansing. The aggressive military actions are aimed at displacing the Armenian population and erasing their presence from the region. This is a grave violation of human rights. The world cannot turn a blind eye to the atrocities being committed. The situation in Artsakh is dire. People are suffering. Their homes are destroyed. The humanitarian crisis is escalating, with countless lives hanging in the balance. Their cultural heritage is under attack. Priceless artifacts and monuments that tell the story of a people are being systematically destroyed. We cannot stand idly by. The global community must raise its voice and demand action. We must act now to protect the people of Artsakh. Immediate humanitarian aid and international intervention are crucial to prevent further suffering and to safeguard a culture that has endured for millennia. Artsakh, also known as Nagorno-Karabakh, is a land steeped in history. This region, nestled in the South Caucasus, has witnessed countless civilizations rise and fall. For millennia, it has been a cradle of Armenian culture, preserving traditions, arts, and a unique way of life that has been passed down through generations. Monasteries, churches, and khachkars or crossstones dot the landscape, each telling a story of faith, resilience, and artistic expression. These structures stand as testaments to a vibrant past, showcasing the architectural and spiritual achievements of the Armenian people. However, this rich cultural heritage is now under direct threat, facing unprecedented challenges. The recent Azerbaijani aggression has targeted not only civilians, but also these invaluable cultural sites, aiming to obliterate a history that spans thousands of years. The destruction of these sites is an attempt to erase the Armenian presence in Artsakh, a calculated move to rewrite history and sever the ties of the Armenian people to their ancestral lands. This echoes a dark chapter in history, the Armenian genocide, where the world witnessed the systematic extermination of a people. In the early 20th century, the Ottoman Empire systematically killed millions of Armenians, an atrocity that left an indelible scar on humanity. To this day, Turkey still denies this genocide, refusing to acknowledge the horrors inflicted upon the Armenian people. Now, Azerbaijan is repeating this horrific crime, perpetuating a cycle of violence and destruction that threatens to erase the legacy of Artsakh forever. The world must recognize the current situation in Artsakh for what it is: ethnic cleansing. Azerbaijan is intentionally driving Armenians from their ancestral homeland. Their methods are brutal and systematic. Their military attacks have caused widespread death and destruction. They have also imposed a blockade on Artsakh. This has created a humanitarian crisis. People are without food, medicine, and other essential supplies. This is a deliberate strategy to force Armenians to flee. Azerbaijan's actions violate international law. They constitute a crime against humanity. The international community must hold Azerbaijan accountable. We cannot be silent witnesses to this tragedy. The cries of the people of Artsakh echo through the valleys and mountains, pleading for justice and peace. The world must act now to protect the people and cultural heritage of Artsakh. These ancient lands hold stories and traditions that have been passed down through generations, and they are now at risk of being lost forever. First, we must demand an end to the violence. The relentless attacks have caused unimaginable suffering and destruction. Azerbaijan must cease its attacks on civilians and cultural sites. The deliberate targeting of these areas is not just an act of war but an assault on humanity's shared heritage. The blockade must be lifted immediately. The people of Artsakh are in desperate need of food, medicine, and other essential supplies. Humanitarian aid must be allowed to reach those in need. Every day that aid is delayed, more lives are put at risk. Second, we must recognize and condemn the ethnic cleansing taking place in Artsakh. This systematic attempt to erase a people and their culture is a grave injustice. This is a crime against humanity. The international community must not turn a blind eye to these atrocities. Perpetrators must be held accountable. Justice must be served to ensure that such horrors are never repeated. Third, we must support the preservation of Artsakh's cultural heritage. These sites are not just stones and mortar, they are the living memory of a people. This includes providing funding for the protection and restoration of cultural sites. Governments, organizations, and individuals all have a role to play. It also means raising awareness about the importance of Artsakh's history and culture. You can help. Contact your elected officials, advocate for policies that support Artsakh, donate to organizations providing aid to Artsakh. Every contribution, no matter how small, can make a difference. Share information about the crisis on social media. Use your voice to amplify the call for action. The people of Artsakh are counting on us. Their resilience and hope in the face of adversity are a testament to the human spirit.